Hola Spanish 2 distance learners. I can't wait to talk to you guys today about our first verb tense. It's really not a tense per se. It's the same present tense that you already learned back in Spanish 1, but it's a new type of verb called a reflexive verb. A reflexive verb refers to something that you do to yourself, such as shaving yourself, bathing yourself, giving yourself a shower. You can see some examples on the worksheet that I have projected on the screen here. For example, if you're washing your dog, that's not reflexive because you're not doing it to yourself. Whereas if you're giving yourself a bath, that is reflexive. If you're washing the dishes, that's not reflexive. But if you're washing your own self, like your face or your hands, that is reflexive. So let's go ahead and take a look at the worksheet and let's see if we can fill in with some brand new information about reflexive verbs or verbs that you do to yourself. So you can see that Mariana bathes the dog versus Mariana bathing herself. And we can see Mariana brushes the dog versus Mariana brushing her own hair. So in order to conjugate a reflexive verb, see how there's something there called say. Say is a reflexive pronoun and it follows the verb, okay? It follows the AR, the ER, or the IR. So when you have a reflexive verb, you always have to take that say and you have to chop it off and move it to the beginning. And there are 6 reflexive pronouns. So if I want to say I'm going to do something to myself, such as wash myself, I'm going to use me, followed by the yo form of the verb back in Spanish 1, o, en, a, cena, amo, cena, y cenan, because this is an AR verb, so me lavo, I wash myself. The next reflexive pronoun is called te, that's for the to form, and we're going to use the to form of an AR verb in the present, to lavas, you wash yourself. Next up, you have he or she. So for example, he or she washes him or herself, or he or she bathes him or herself. That'll be se lava. O, en, as, en, a. We just have the addition of the reflexive pronoun at the beginning. If it's something that we do to ourselves, in this case, we wash ourselves, nos lavamos. Y'all wash y'all's selves, os lavais, and don't forget that accent over the A, so o, en, as, en, a. Amos and ice, and then finally at the end, they do it to themselves, say, lavan, an, o, en, as, en, a, ch, amos and ice, en, an, ch. So all I've done, if you can look here on the screen, is I've added the reflexive pronoun of me lavo, I wash myself. Te lavas, you wash yourself. Él or ella se lava, he or she washes him or herself. Nos lavamos, we wash ourselves. Os lavais, y'all wash y'all's selves, and se lavan, they wash themselves. Now, there's some examples here. He washed the car. That's not reflexive because you're washing the car, not yourself. Versus he washed his face, which is reflexive because it's your own face. I brushed my teeth is reflexive because those are my teeth. I brushed the cat. No, not reflexive. Okay, you're brushing your cat. We feed ourselves breakfast. Yes, that is reflexive because we're feeding ourselves. Our mom or our dad isn't feeding us. He shaves his face. Yes, that is reflexive. You're shaving your own face. Mom washed her hands. Yes, that is reflexive. She's washing her own hands. You wash the dishes. No, not reflexive because you're not a dish. You're washing something else, the dishes. And last but not least, they look at themselves in the mirror. Yes, that is reflexive because you're doing it to yourself. You're looking at your own self in the mirror, okay? So those are just some ideas of some reflexive versus not reflexive verbs. Let's try another. Let's try desayunarse. Desayuno is breakfast, so we want to feed ourselves breakfast. When you guys are little, your moms or your dads feed you, but you no longer probably do that. You feed yourself. So same thing again, we're going to refer to this say, which means that it's a reflexive verb, something you do to yourself. We're going to chop this say off and we're going to move it to the beginning. So, me desayuno, I feed myself breakfast. Okay? Next up, te desayunas, you feed yourself breakfast. O, en, as, en, a, se desayuna. He or she feeds breakfast to him or herself. Sorry, my voice just went there. We feed ourselves breakfast. Nos desayunamos. Y'all feed breakfast to y'all's selves, os. Desayunáis, don't forget that accent over the A. And finally, they feed breakfast to themselves, say, desayunan. Again, same endings you know from Spanish 1. O and as and a, amas and is and an. Now I've just added the reflexive pronoun at the beginning. You guys already knew how to do this. Me llamo, Señora Kinnear. I call myself Señora Kinnear. Como te llamas? What do you call yourself? Él or ella se llama Carmen. Él or ella se llama Jose. He or she calls him or herself Carmen or Jose. Again, it's something you're doing to yourself. Let's try one more example. Let's try afeitarse, to shave yourself. Ladies, shaving your legs, your underarms. Guys, shaving your face, okay? Unless you're at a barber shop and a barber's giving you a shave, you're probably doing this to yourself. So same thing. I see that reflexive pronoun of se. Go ahead and add it to the beginning. Me afeito. I shave myself. Te afeitas. You shave yourself. Él or ella se afeita. He or she shaves him or herself. Nos afeitamos. We shave ourselves. Os afeitais. Y'all shave y'all selves. And finally, oops, lo siento. Finally, they shave themselves. Say, afeitan. Okay? So these were all examples of AR verbs. And again, if you guys can just remember the me, te, se, nos, os, and say at the beginning. And again, it's something that you're doing to yourself, like usually daily routine items. I hope that that helps you guys out a lot and that you have a great day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Adios. Bye-bye.